It don't run. Come on, little Susie. What's going on again? So we have another Volkswagen in here. This is a 1972 Volkswagen Beetle, Super Beetle, and it has a fueling issue. This belongs to a subscriber and friend, and he bought it from a guy that said that it had a running hot issue. And we went and looked at it, and the guy said, yeah, when you run it, it gets up to temp and it shuts down. And we're like, it's air cooled. I mean, the only way it's going to do that is if the motor is going to lock up or something. And he went through and replaced the carburetor and the fuel pump. And we cranked it, and it ran for like maybe 5 minutes, and it shut off. And we were like, it don't get hot that fast. And he was, oh yeah, I believe it's something going on with the engine and all this. And we got to looking at it. The fuel filter is very dirty, and it was half full. So then we cranked on it, and it wouldn't start. It acted like it wanted to start, but if you look at it, that's how much gas stays in the filter. And it'll build up over time, and it'll let it start, but then it just run out, and then you let it sit and turn it over. So anyway, he ended up buying it from the guy. The guy was tired of fooling with it. He said he paid big bucks for it some years ago, and he drove it, and it started doing that, and he got tired of fooling with it, so here it is. So yeah, it's a 72 Super Beetle. It's got a paint job on it that somebody didn't know what they were doing when they painted it. It's got a cheap paint job. It looks good, but up here you see a lot of swirl marks. I don't know if they were trying to wet sand it or something. And it's peeling up here on the top. And you can see the paint is not even sticking to the metal. So this is some kind of cheap paint job that somebody threw on it. He said it was like that when he got it. I don't know if he had it painted, but right here around the headlight, it's peeling off. So the paint is not even sticking to the car in spots. So that means it wasn't prepped and cleaned correctly before they painted it. It don't even look like it's got primer on it. It looks like it's just paint. I mean, it's like, I don't even see any primer. So my job, get it running and make sure all the brakes and the clutch and all that works. We did get it to move to get on the trailer, but then it cut off and it wouldn't start up never again. It just turned over. So it's got a fueling issue. I believe the gas tank is probably rusty, and the fuel line is stopping up, because we looked at the gas tank. If I can get the hood open. Does this one got the thing? There's something in the glove box. I think that might be for the fuel door. Or it is for the hood. It's got some extra parts in here too. We were looking at the top of the gas tank, and it had like some rust spots on it. These are some window seals the guy bought. I believe he had this car painted, probably, and the paint started peeling off, and then it didn't want to run right, and he just gave up on it. But those look like some window trim and door seals. These are new door cards or door panels, you want to call it that. So bunch of parts. Some kind of door handle guard. I guess that goes behind the door handle. You know, all these seals and stuff is brand new. They've been in here for a while. But right on top of the gas tank, you can see it's rusty. So this is probably the original gas tank, and I suspect that there is a hose that comes off the side of the tank. There's a spout and a hose that goes to a metal line and runs to the back. Something in this tank is stopping up the fuel line, and it's not letting fuel stay up in that filter as it's being, you know, pumped from the gas tank, and it'll run a little bit and quit. So we got a brand new fuel filter, and what else did we get? Oh, we got the new gas tank. So we got a brand new gas tank in the box, brand new fuel filter. So we're gonna put this new gas tank in it. I'm gonna check all the fuel lines, replace all the fuel lines from the front to the back, and should be good to go. The motor sounds good when it's running, it just don't run long. The interior is pretty good. Somebody put some money in it. I know these are not the original seats. It could be the original interior, but the dash is in good shape. It's got the period correct steering wheel on it. He said it had the wrong steering wheel, which is over there. It's like a 70s, late 70s model steering wheel. Headliner's got a little boo-boo back there. Y'all can see it. It's kind of dark in here. Yeah, it's kind of hanging back up in there just a little bit. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but anyway, the back seats is in good shape. I mean, it's a good looking car, good carpet. These door panel, well, it's got like a folded spot there, so that's probably why he bought new ones. And it's missing that little compartment right there. But yeah, it's a cool little bug. It's just gonna need the paint work redone over. It's got a lot of sand marks in it, like somebody tried to wet sand and buff it. So anyway, I'm gonna get that gas tank out of there so we can get the new one in and replace all the fuel line. He's already put a new fuel pump. So, and it was doing this before he replaced the fuel pump. So we'll get all that replaced and get it fired up and see how it will run. Hopefully that solves the problem, and he can get it and take it and do what he needs to do with the paint and enjoy it now that he owns a Volkswagen Beetle, Super Beetle. And this is not the automatic, this is the manual, because some Super Beetles came automatic. This is the manual one. Even the glove box looks good. Yep, and we got a bra for it too that goes over the front. So anyway, let me get this gas tank out, and we'll go from there. Alright, let the games begin. So I'm draining all the gas out of the old tank, and I got the new tank unboxed, and gonna get it ready to go in. Got the sending unit laying here. This thing's got a double float sending unit set up. I guess one is for reserve and one is for full, so have to be careful pulling that out. But drain all the gas out, and this tank, it's got some surface rust. I kind of poked at it. It feels kind of soft in that area, but inside of the tank it did have some surface rust in there. But we got a brand new one to go in, and I'm gonna check the fuel line that runs out of the bottom of the tank. It goes to the back, so you have to pull off this wheel here, and you'll see the fuel line going down. As It's 4 bolts that holds the tank in, and take all the hoses off and pop it back in there. So I don't know how long this is going to take, but if I take the hose off the bottom of the tank, it's just going to gravity feed out. So it's better to pump it out here than take it loose and try and put a pan up under there. But anyway, I'm going to let that get done draining, and we'll get that old tank out, get the new tank in, get it all hooked up. Alright, so I got the gas tank lifted up. The last Beetle I had, it was cut out on this side where you can get to the fuel line up under the car. This being a 74, I believe. The fuel line is actually up under the tank right here, and you can't get to it up under the car. So you have to take it loose, and gas is coming out everywhere. I tried to drain it. I have to find something, a hose to put a cap on or something. Gas. I tried to drain it, but I couldn't get it drained all the way out. I don't know why this one's not cut out up under there where you can get to the fuel line from the outside. So we got that temporary plug. Just got to get the nozzle off, or the not nozzle, but where you put your gas at. So let me move this light out of the way. So hopefully I don't damage anything getting it out, because the harness is right on top of it. So try. There we go. This car used to be baby blue. Two hoses in the back. They didn't take the gas tank out when they painted it. Oh, still got gas in it a little bit. Right. So the gas tank is out. You get to see all the goodness up under there. Probably take the shop back and get a lot of this leaves and garbage out. But the fuel line comes up through there, and that's the only way you can see it coming up through the body, but you can't unhook it from the outside, which is weird. The other Volkswagen had a little cutout. They might have cut it out like that, I'm not sure. But I'm going to take the shop back, get some of this stuff out of here, and then get the new tank in. And I'm going to check that fuel line, make sure it's not rotted or anything. And then we'll move on with getting some gas in it. And check the fuel line going to the back too. So I popped off the driver's side rear wheel, and this is your fuel line here that runs from the fuel pump up to a metal line, then it runs through the frame up to the gas tank, and there's a rubber line up there. This line here, this hose, it's got a lot of dry rot cracks in it. It's hard to see it because it's up under here.
but it looks like it's dry rotted. It's got a lot of cracks in it. I don't know if you can see that. And that can cause it to suck air through the line, and it won't let the fuel pick up right. So I'm going to change this line out. It just hooks to the metal line up here, and that metal line goes up to the fuel pump with another rubber line. So I don't know if you can see, it's got a lot of cracks. So while I'm up under here, I'm going to go ahead and take that off and replace that, and then I'm going to put the new gas tank in it. I wanted to check this out first because I'm going to blow that line out that's coming from the front to back here, just to make sure there's no trash in it. Alright, so I went ahead, put the new fuel line on. I forgot to get a fuel filter, so I checked the old one. It didn't have any rust or anything in it, so I put it back on. So let's go ahead and put some gas in this thing, see if we can get it cranked up. Hopefully it runs more than 5 minutes. She's thirsty. That'll be enough for now, just to get her started. Hopefully there's gas still in the carburetor that will help it crank up and pick up from the tank. Let's see, neutral, I hope so. Yep. Gas hand moves. I think so. It's running though. Got gas in the fuel filter. I see it pumping through. I see it moving through. Still got that bog to it though. I wonder, do these have air mixture screws? Motor sounds good.
like that. Whatever that was. I turned the screw out and it quit. Whatever I did, it didn't like it. Shut off again. I'm wondering if we take this fuel line off and see, do we have any gas percolating through there? Because it's like the filter is barely filling up. And that's what it's been doing. It's been running and then running out of. See, the filter is empty. And I know we got a good fuel line from the front to the back, but the fuel filter, I don't know if you can see it from here. Get y'all in there close. Fuel filters it's just empty. It's got a little gas in it. I can see like bubbling at the bottom of it, but I don't want to set this thing on fire. I really would like to put a hose on here and maybe put it in a bottle and spin it over and see, do we got fuel pressure? Because now I'm starting to believe we got a bad fuel pump. Or even though it's new, or the thing that operates the fuel pump is bad. Let's get a hose and I'm gonna put a hose on there and put it in a water bottle or something. Let me see if I can find. Should have a old water bottle somewhere, a cup, because that is strange. It'll run for like 5 minutes at least, well, and then just shut off. And well, I don't know, I'm trying to find something. Maybe we can use this. I just want to spin it over just to see, is it any fuel coming out of the, that's close to the generator, any fuel coming out of the fuel pump or what? What is going on here? I thought it was the carburetor because I had adjusted that screw. I'm gonna spin it over a couple times. It's pumping gas. It's definitely pumping gas. Because I just don't know why it ain't. I guess it don't fill the fuel filter up full enough. I mean, this is a mechanical fuel pump, so now I'm leaning towards carburetor because it's got that bog to it. And he said this thing had a new carburetor, but people say anything. The cell stuff, so I'm gonna crank it over again. Let's see what, fire back up. Now that fuel filter is kind of full. filter is full. I wonder, did it have air in the line or something? It just got plenty of gas in it now. And now it's not bogging anymore. I wonder, did it just have air in the line? Once I let it pump into the cup, put it back on, now the filter's full and it wants to stay running. There's no more bog to it. I'm gonna let it sit here and run. Can't let it run too long because it's air cooled. At least run long enough to see if it's gonna shut off. Now it won't sit here and run right. The filter is still full. I'm wondering if it's just air in the line. I'm gonna cut it off and see where it crank back up. Crank right up. It's running right now. Got tail lights. No turn signal on that side. Must got a bad flasher stat or something. No horn. Does it got brake lights? Yeah, brake lights. Now it's sitting here running fine. I believe it just had air in the line, I guess. I don't see any trash in the filter. Maybe when I turn that screw on side of the carburetor, it allow more fuel to come in. Is that the needle adjustment? I'm really not sure. I can't remember on these Volkswagen carburetors. The last one I had, I don't remember when I took the carburetor apart, but the fuel filter is staying full now. So I guess the next thing to do is put some more gas in it and test drive it and hope and pray that it don't quit. Let's cut it off and see what it crank back up. Cranks right up. There's a spider following me around. I gotta kill him. Where did he go? I don't want him to drop down on me while I'm in the car. He disappeared. It's a long spider web over here. Oh well. Anyway, so I guess our next step would be to get it out and test drive it. Because like I say now, the fuel filter is half full. I don't know if you can see the gas in there. Maybe some trash came through and it's in the fuel filter. Maybe something in the fuel line. I blew out the fuel line, but I didn't see anything, but I don't know. But we'll get it out and drive it. It's raining right now, and I really don't want to get it out in the rain and break down. I don't even know if the wipers work. Do the wipers work? Are these wipers? Oh, they do, but the blades ain't worth a crap. I don't know if there's any in that box of stuff. Let's see what it cranked back up. I gotta put some more gas in it too. Revs right up. So I guess when the rain clears out, we'll get it out and drive it, and we'll see if it'll keep running. That'll be great. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up with gas, call it a night, and as soon as the rain clears, we'll get it out and drive it around. Alright, so I had this thing running and everything. It was running pretty good. Went in the house, came out, and it had shut off. So I got a fuel pressure gauge hooked on it. I want to see, is it losing fuel pressure somehow? Maybe the fuel pump, even though it's new. Now this thing has metal line that runs through the, I think the swing arm of the transaxle, and runs through the car all the way up to the tank. I'm wondering, does it got a rust spot in it and it's allowing air to come in? Because I had unhooked the fuel line that time and let it pump into a jug or cup or whatever. It got a real good flow, and when I hooked it back up, it filled up the fuel filter, and then it ran perfect. So let's see if it's got any fuel pressure. Gauge moving? I can't see it because it's up here. Just like it's out of gas. Let's pop the air cleaner off and spray something in there. See what it hit off. My next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook an electric fuel pump to it and see, can we get it to run off like a gas can. And I'm going to put this hose over into that jug again and see, is the fuel pump working like it's supposed to? Because I mean, that is strange. It's got a new fuel tank, a new fuel pump, new carburetor.
as we were told. Still won't run right. Did the needle move? I have to run the tape back. It hasn't lost fire. It just has lost fuel. Let's see what it hit off again. So it's definitely got a fueling issue. I bet you we don't have no fuel pressure. So I'm going to hook up an electric fuel pump. Probably, let's try hooking the electric fuel pump to, we can hook it to the fuel line, I guess. But I have to disconnect. I have to disconnect it from the metal line and hook it. This goes to the metal line here. So we'll have to disconnect that from the fuel pump. Let's disconnect this. See, we got gas coming out here, a steady flow of gas. So that tells me there that it's got fuel. It's got a steady flow of gas coming out of the fuel line. It won't stop. So we got fuel going to the fuel pump. I believe the fuel pump's bad. I bet you it's got a bad fuel pump. These clamps don't even clamp the hose down good enough. I bet you that's what it is. This fuel pump is bad. So if we hook our electric fuel pump, I'm still gonna try it though. We'll hook our electric fuel pump up to this fuel line here. I'm about to get a smaller hose. Sorry if I sound stuffy. My nose is all clogged up. Springtime's coming and sinuses. You don't even have a clamp on the back of the metal line. That's a fire waiting to happen. So let me get another. Let me change out the fitting on my electric fuel pump, put a 1/4 inch or 5/16 fitting on it. And we'll hook directly to the fuel line and leave the carburetor. How will we do that? We have to hook to here with one end and then hook the electric fuel pump to the other end. If it keeps running in, then we'll watch the fuel pressure. If it keeps running in, the fuel pump's no good, even though it's new. So I think what my problem is, that fuel pump is weak. Right now I got it hooked up to the electric fuel pump and it fired right up. But if I put my finger over the fuel pump hose, you can barely feel pressure. This is the hose that sucks the fuel out of the gas tank. For some reason my fuel gauge is not working. I don't know what's up with that. But now that is I think that's a 5 to 6 PSI fuel pump, electric fuel pump. So I think I'm gonna get a new fuel pump for it. Because I think it's just losing pressure is what it is. As soon as I hit the key, it fired right up.
and it's hooked to the main fuel line coming from the gas tank. So that original fuel pump or new fuel pump or whatever, it's not building up enough pressure to suck the fuel from up there. Probably when you prime it, it'll start to build up pressure, and then once you let it sit, it loses prime, and it don't want to pump it back up there. But it's sitting there purring like a kitten again. But I don't know why my fuel pressure gauge is not working. Unless that's 3 psi, I don't know. Well, it looks like it's starting to build up. So it might be working. It's starting to build up. So that might be 5 psi. Or 1, 2, 3, no, 3 psi maybe. Yeah, it's sitting there purring like a kitten again. I'm gonna let it sit here and run. See, does it run out of fuel? If it don't, I know for sure that fuel pump is bad. So I was wrong. This inlet here actually goes to your fuel line. It goes to your fuel tank. This one here goes up to the carburetor. But I don't feel hardly no suction coming from the fuel pump. This should be sucking like vacuum, because it sucks the fuel from the fuel tank into the fuel pump and then out to the carb. So I'm putting my money on that fuel pump. But it's been sitting here running for a while. So I'm gonna get another fuel pump and stick that on there. Carburetor sounds good to me. Alright, so it's time to put on the new fuel pump. This is the new fuel pump, M16074, made by Import Direct, O'Reilly brand. So we're going to put that on, because I think that's what our problem is the fuel pump is bad. So there it is, nice and shiny. So to get this one off, I already got the fuel lines off. You gotta kind of get in behind that intake. I got a swivel on there. It's not a real, let me get a longer extension. It's not a real good way to get down in there. You get a longer extension. And a flathead screwdriver. So this is the only thing I can think of that's wrong with this thing is the fuel pump is not putting out enough pressure to keep up. Shoot, there we go now. Swivel on here. Man, they put that in a bad spot. How do you get in there? You don't want to have to take the distributor out. You can get in there with knock the camera over. I'm trying to get in there. To put that back on a little bigger. Probably just need to pull the distributor cap off. Have more room. Cap looks good. Rotor looks good. Back up in there. This is when you need a magnet because you're going to drop something like I just did. Oh, I see it. And there's a washer on there. Of course. Let's see. I have to get this with a wrench. Now I don't know if these Volkswagens, do they have some kind of, what do they call it, eccentric? The thing that makes the fuel pump operate like your what's got that, Chevrolet, Ford. It has the thing that runs on the camshaft. Of course the gasket's gonna tear, but we got new ones. Something's wrong with this fuel pump. What is that? I want to put some grease or something. But if you look at it, where's the new one? That's how it's supposed to be. See, this one sticks, this one's further in. Look at the difference here. See how that one's flat and this one sticks up? There's something's wrong with this fuel pump. Try pressing on it. It's working, but that is, if I pull it up with my finger, it's got all that white looking stuff in there. I think something's up with that fuel pump. Alright, I wanted to verify that this rod that pushes the fuel pump is actually moving. So I'm thinking if I turn the motor, it came up a tad. It should go down. I have to push it down by hand. It's hard to hold the camera. Yeah, it went down then. You should see it come up. It's going down now. It don't come up very far. It's going all the way down. It should. Coming up. But that little up and down there, if that arm wasn't right on that fuel pump, that only means that it wasn't pushing that fuel pump open far enough. So let's go ahead and tell the gasket on. It comes with two, but we only need one because we didn't take the whole thing off. See that? It hangs down really far, so it should have some resistance. See, it's got resistance now. See, really springy. That other one, it was just sitting flat when I took it off. So there's something up with that fuel pump. Putting that washer and stuff on back there is going to be kind of a job. It's going to reach my hand back there. The gas tank is gravity fed, because if I take that plug I got in the fuel line out, it's gonna spray gas everywhere. So we got a real good flow of fuel coming from the front. I even tried running it without the gas cap on it to make sure that it wasn't vacuum locked, because you got a bad gas cap, it could be holding pressure, because it's supposed to breathe. It can hold pressure inside the gas tank, and it won't let your gas flow through the lines correctly. It's like trying to blow into a Coke bottle, holding it to your mouth and just constantly blowing with no relief. So I'm gonna have to get a wrench. Get a wrench. Belt's right in my way. That back one's gonna be a job there to get to. Really need a 1/4 inch swivel socket with an extension to get in there. Just catch the corner of it. It's at that weird angle. Let me see what I got. Little 1/4 inch setup here. Maybe I can sneak that back there. It's a little skinnier, or maybe not. No, it's the same way. We'll get as tight as I can, and I'll have to get a I put it so close. A little stubby 1/2 inch. That should be it. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so that's tight. So that's put the fuel line back on. So this one will go. I think we need to put the carburetor side on first, because I take that little cap off on there, it's gonna blast gas everywhere. So we'll put the carburetor side on first. I got a new fuel filter too. Let's see. Take that off. Catch it before gas comes out everywhere. Cool thing about these bugs, you can work on them right here. I mean, it's no leaning over the hood or standing on something. Everything is right here in reach. Make sure that fuel line's tight. All right, let me make sure this other one's tight back here. Let's put the distributor cap back on. And get our new filter. I don't like running the plastic ones, but for testing purposes, we need to see what the fuel is doing. So we're gonna go with the plastic filter. It should have enough gas in the carburetor to fire right up. All right, let's see what she crank and run on her own. And fills up that filter. Should fire right up. fuel pump was no good. So let me button some things up. We'll try and drive it around the block. I gotta fix this shifter. Okay, here we go. First test ride. I don't want to get too far with it. And that ashtray popped out and scared the living daylights out of me. My life was flashing before my eyes. Back and check all the fuel lines and make sure they're tight. You don't have any fuel leaks. Gas gauge working. Alright, let's go back and recheck everything. Make sure everything's tight. And then we gotta fix that oil leak. So I'm actually inside of the car right now. It has this little panel you can pull off, and this is the shift linkage that goes back to the transmission. It has this bushing set up here, and it has this grub screw that is got it locked on the shaft, and your shift rod that runs through the tunnel all the way up to your shifter here. That thing there is wore out, so when you shift it, you can see the rubber moving in there. So that's where all that play is coming from, all that slop. I thought it was up front, which it still could be, but got a lot of slop right there. That bushing is that bushing's toast. Let's see if we can get it to. Yeah, that thing is, the rubber is completely wore out. I don't know about the side play. That could be because the bushing is so sloppy. You push down and then That's reverse. That's neutral. So I'm gonna have to order this thing here. We'll get that in there, and I still got the other bushing. It goes, I think, on that end. But what I seen is there's a bushing up inside of the car, up inside of the tunnel, up in here, and you have to pull this rod all the way out of the front of the car to replace that bushing. But for sure, this one here is definitely wore out. So I'm gonna order that. Also, the headlight switch shorted out, so the headlights stopped working. And I ordered some more fuses for it. So I'm gonna get some stuff on order, and we'll get this shifter problem fixed. Alright, so finally got the new part in after waiting for about a week. So this is the new shift linkage bushing setup that goes on the rod. You just pull that little set screw, push the rod off of the transmission shift shaft, and you just pull that 8mm bolt. This bolt right here comes off, and this pin here, shaft that goes through, and slide it back on your front rod, slide it back on the transmission. Be good as new. That one is definitely wore out. It's kind of hard to see when I get it off there, but that rubber is all busted. So I suspect that it's never been changed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this changed out, and we'll see how tight that shifter is. So I got the new shifter bushing setup thing in. That one there is completely destroyed. So now we can shift it, and all that slack. See, that's reverse. That's first, second, third, fourth. All that slack is gone. So got that wrapped up. I thought this shift rod comes out of the front of the car. Some of them do. I don't know how it runs down this tube and come out, but luckily we just replaced that bushing there, and that fixed it. So next I got to put in the headlight switch, fix the oil leak on the oil filter strainer, and replace the fuses that they got in there, because they got glass fuses and it's supposed to have those plastic strip fuses. So if you look under the dash here, all those fuses that are glass, they're supposed to be those different color plastic ones with the metal strip, and I ordered a whole pack of them. So we're going to replace those with the correct fuses. And the headlight switch is shorted, so I'm gonna go up under the, I guess you call it the bonnet, and replace that switch so the headlights will work, and we should be ready to wrap this thing up. So let's go ahead and change this headlight switch, and in order to get to it, you gotta remove this fresh air box. It's just 3 Phillips head screws, and there's a couple little tubes that hooks to the vents, and this should come up out of here. I had it apart when I put the gas tank in. Just didn't know that the headlight switch was bad. And where is the headlight switch? I'll try and set this to the side. Headlight switches. Under there somewhere. I've seen it from the inside. Let me look inside. Let me look inside and see if I can see it. Hopefully you don't have to pull the dash panel off. But this fresh air box, it has a vent up here on top of the car. or rather it's on top of the hood, and air goes down through there, and you can open the vents up. Inside it's got some cables and lets the air go in the fresh air box and go inside the car, because of course these cars don't have air conditioning. Well, this one though, the later model Super Beetle did. This is the early model, so I don't know if they put AC in the early models. I don't think they did, but I don't see that stupid headlight switch. I can see it inside. I had to crawl up in there. Thought it'd be easier to get to. I might be wrong. I don't think I've ever changed the headlight switch on a Bug before. Let's see if I can crawl in here. Oh, God. Tight. Let's see. It should be. Oh, I see it. Right. Got a couple wires on the back of it. I think I'm gonna have to go inside, take the knob off, and unscrew it. I know it's kind of dark in here. That's the headlight switch there. Yeah, this knob just comes off. And it's got one of those funny looking screws. It's got the flats on each end. I'm gonna have to get a flat head and turn that out of there. So let me get that loose. I can tell this switch ain't no good. It's all wiggity. Let me get that out, and then because I'm gonna have to do that with two hands, and get the switch in and get it hooked back up. Hopefully the headlights work right. I got the new headlight switch. Matter of fact, I need to make sure it's the same before I go any further. There's a part number in case you need it. There's a switch. Just got a couple wires go on the back. It's the dimmer switch and headlight. So anyway, let me get that tore down, get it in, see what the lights do. So I'm looking at these headlight switches, and they got little numbers on them. They're numbered where the wires go. These are stamped nice and white where you can see them. And these over here, I think this is the original switch, but you can see it's starting to come apart. So it's definitely no good. But it's got the numbers on it too. They're just not stamped white. You have to look real close. So pull the wires off one at a time and put them where the numbers go. Only thing I can see different is some of the prongs is different. So hopefully when I get done with this, everything will work. It's supposed to be for this year. But I don't know, we'll see. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got enough for 5 wires, but hopefully they're going to be in the right slots. So probably going to have somebody to hold this thing while I put the little nut back on the other side of the dashboard. But let me get it all wired up. Just wanted to show y'all that they're numbered, or you can just write it down if you're going back with one that don't have it stamped where you can actually read it. So huge mistake on my part.
So that's got an 8-prong switch, and this one's got a 6. And you gotta have the 8-prong. So this switch won't work. I got to looking at the box. You know, they have this stuff marked wrong on the internet too, but sometimes you can pick one and get it wrong. But this says 71 through 77 type 3 and 71 through 72 Super Beetle. Well, this is a Super Beetle, but it's a 74. So I think I got this off of Amazon. So I'm gonna have to go back and look and get the right switch. I might try and call around here in town, see if I can find one that's an 8-prong. But yeah, I thought it would work, but it won't. So back to the drawing board on that. So let me see if I can dig up a switch, get the right switch, go ahead and fix that oil leak, and we should be ready to get this thing back to the original owner.
So I did find the right switch, and they got it listed up under a dune buggy for some reason. It says headlight switch 71 through 77 compatible with dune buggy on Amazon. So I got it in the cart, and that's an 8-prong switch. I looked around, I couldn't find one that was 8-prong. So gotta wait 2 days to get it. So I'll return the other one, and we'll get this one. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the Volkswagen now. So what we got to do is this filter housing, a filter screen, the screws are stripped. This one was missing. I kind of got a nut just on there trying to tighten it up. That one's stripped, and I think the other ones wouldn't tighten. So what we got to do is drain the oil out. Battery's getting low on the ratchet. Nice clean oil, that's one thing. So we need to drain the oil out and take all these screws loose, and there's a screen, metal screen, and that's what catches all the trash and stuff that comes to the engine. I mean, you don't even have to change it out, you just clean it. But really simple. But whoever put that screen on last, they stripped the screws, they stripped the threads out. So, ended up buying a kit. It's got new threads. I mean, not threads. New. These are. I think they're. Yeah, they're just the studs. I mean, studs and nuts. So I'm gonna drain all this good oil out. We'll just put some fresh in it. And break all these screws loose. And hopefully we get these studs out. They should come right out. And put the new ones in. Thing is, people try to over torque these because Volkswagens are known for leaking. And they try to over torque them and they strip them out. They're fine threads, studs. So it don't take much to strip them. These all of them are 10s. So let's let that drain there. Looks like it's almost finished. Ooh, see, that one's stripped. See, I'm tightening on it. That one's completely stripped. And I tried tightening on it, and
sealed in green thing. That was a 3/8. That was the one I put on there because, I mean, it was everywhere I parked it. It was just leaking. Mind you, 11. Yeah, I think it is. Ooh. One thing about it, I don't want to drop the little, whoop, like I just said. I don't want to drop it in the oil. A little too late for that, huh? I guess you need a pan with a screen. Let's stop dripping now. Hold on a second. I'm getting oil everywhere. Tighten it back up. I don't know if I can catch them when they come off of there. Look like they would have put some bigger type of studs on here. Those are 10s. Wow, the whole stud came out. That one came out. Tired of fooling around. Man. That one, the nut just came off. Now we should be able more oil. So there's the studs. That's the plate. And there's a screen in there. To get that screen out. And that's all it is just a screen. There's no metal shavings or anything on it, so that's good. And it's got a gasket. So we're gonna have to get all of these out. That one looked like somebody put some vice grips on that one. Is it nuts on the inside? No way. Did somebody put a nut on the inside? 'Cause I don't think that comes out. Let me go get a light. I think somebody put a nut on the inside. All right, let's see. Oh man, somebody put a nut on the inside of that one. Who idea was that? So I'm gonna have to get the nut off. That didn't sound right. I'll have to get that off so I can get that stud out of there. For some reason they put the stud in, but they put I don't even see how they got it in there. Somebody was real precise. But let's see if we can get these other ones, because they're just straight up threads. I really don't know how those come out of there. It look like they got some kind of I sure had to put vice grips on and strip those. It'd be a nightmare. It look like they're pressed in. These are, and these screw in. These two here. Let me get a small hammer or something. I don't understand some people. They do stuff sometimes. Rather than fix it right, rig it. Just to get by and don't go back and fix it like you're supposed to. I don't even know if that one looked like they held it with some vice grips and put that nut on the other end of it. Yeah, that one's gonna be a book. I don't even know if this one here. I don't want to strip that. I don't want to strip it and then really have a cluster. But they're stripped anyway, because they wouldn't even tighten up. Ain't no oil pan on these. I think they're pressed in. No, they're not. How many do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that sucker there is. Is it coming out? There we go. I can just imagine me dropping this pair of vice grips in the oil. Should just got some rags and laid them on the ground. Yeah, it comes out. I was unsure. Yeah, there we go.
That one I'm gonna have to, I don't know if that hole is stripped out. That's why they put a nut on the other end or what. It would help if oil wasn't just running down everywhere. This thing's been leaking for a while. It's got oil everywhere. Another one here. I have to get a I guess I'm gonna have to get a wrench. What I should have done was drain it a couple days ago. That one there might not come out. I bet you it's stripped. The hole is probably stripped. We'll see what we can do to fix it though, because I really want it to be right. Let me go get a tin. Yeah, that one there. That one's gonna be a booger. You can't even get a wrench in there. I don't know how they got that. How did they even do that? Because I don't... With the screen sets, I don't know if that comes out. They were real precise with this one. How did they even get a wrench in there? And they got it tight too. And it don't help that the oil is like running down on the vice grips. I can't tell if it's turning or not. I'm trying to look up in there and see. Does this oil filter, where the oil filter screen rests, does that come out? Because I don't know how they got that. How they got that nut on there. If I can get the nut to turn, might have to take a punch or something, but I got a feeling that this I think that's what holds the that piece in. It's supposed to be like that, but I got a feeling it's gonna be stripped. Let me see, can I get a punch? I wish you guys could see, but I got the camera all stationary.
guess I can show you guys right quick. So you see, there's a nut where that stud is, and I'm thinking that's what holds this in, this plate for your filter. So I'm gonna try and take a punch and knock that nut loose. That way I can change that stud. So let me work on that, and then we'll get all the studs in there. So what I did, just took the air chisel and I knocked that nut loose. Well, I can turn it with my fingers. Actually, this little plate here is held by that stud with the nut on it. So that's what holds this tight. And I think it's just that one side, but I was able to get it loose, so I'm gonna keep messing around, get that loose so I can get that strip stud out of there, and should be ready to go. Okay, so progress is being made. So what I was able to do is clamp onto that stud, and I gotta put a wrench on this nut right here and turn the stud and hold that nut at the same time. Getting it back on there is going to be a job. This one is a longer one, I think. Yeah, it's actually longer. So I might have to get a longer stud to go through there, because that supports. What does that make? No, it ain't made on there. That supports this this plate, which is hooked to the oil pump, I guess. But the nut is in there. Let me get a. Should I get a washer, or should I just leave it in there? It's a metric. I think I'm just gonna leave it sitting there. That way, when I run the new one through, I can just hold it with the wrench and tighten it back up. So, with that being said, I'm probably going to have to take a bolt and cut the head off of it and use it as a stud, because the new ones are too short. You can see how this is one of the other ones. It's actually shorter. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. Find a metric or fine thread bolt, cut the head off of it, use it as a stud. But it's gonna have to be the same thread pattern as the nuts that holds the plate up, and run it through, tighten that up, and that on that. So let me get to work on that, and we'll get this thing all buttoned up, because it's dripping oil everywhere. Alright, so finally got this thing sealed up. I put a extra long stud in that one. That's the one that has the nut on the other side. And I just kind of put lock washers and the little brass sealing washers on, and then I put the little nuts that came with the new studs, and that one's got a double nut and the little nut that came with the new studs also. Got it all sealed up nice and neat with some sealant, and I'm just gonna leave it on jack stands so that stuff can dry before I put some more oil in it and everything, and should be good and sealed up. No more oil leaks. that I know of, but all the oil up on here was definitely coming from them having the screws stripped out and wasn't sealing good, and they didn't have any sealant on the gasket between this plate and screen. So alright, let's move on. Alright, so I thought I had this thing all up and running good and everything, and boom, boom, boom. Back in the hole again. So this time I ordered a new carburetor. It started bogging real bad, and it didn't want to run until you got it like half throttle. So I went on Amazon, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just put another carburetor on it. So this is supposed to be the exact same carburetor that's on there, just a cheap brand. That one's supposed to be new. It looks new, but like I said, I'm at my wit's end with this thing. So we got a aftermarket carburetor here, brand new. Maybe some of that trash that was in the gas tank then got in there and settled and hardened up. I don't know. But this one's brand spanking new, straight from Amazon. Direct fit. Fully set already. Ready to go on. So I'm gonna get this one put on there. I think it comes with, they love giving you these plastic fuel filters these days, don't they? Comes with an extra set of jets and carb gasket. I don't know if we should fool with the jets or not. Oh, those are carb studs. So you got the carb studs with the nuts, 2 jets, gasket, filter. And it comes with these instructions. This is how to set the carburetor up. Troubleshooting, yeah, whatever. But anyway, it's made by Thundermingo. Enjoy high quality. It tells you about cold starting, warm starting, poor performance, gas mileage. Yeah. $75 carburetor. So let me get that one off. We'll get this one on. I think it's this jet on the side right here that they send it with. Just that one. And then there's another jet. It must go on the inside the carb. But I'm not finna break this thing down yet. So I want to put it on there and see how it's gonna run. So here we go. You ever heard that old saying, the third time is the charm? Well, this is the 4th time. But yeah, she's running way better now. No more bog. Got a good throttle response. That's how it's supposed to run. I did check the plugs, and also I had to put a balance resistor on the coil because the ignition coil was getting so hot you couldn't even hold it. So I put a external balance resistor on the coil. I just got it zip tied right here for right now. But that helped it out a lot. But yeah, she's running real good. Alright, it's test drive number 2. Got the new carburetor, got the new fuel pump, got the new shift links, bushings. What else we did too? We got speedometer cable replaced, so the speedometer is working. We got headlights. That's really it. I mean, I've been driving it. It's running way better than it was when it had that other carburetor on there. Had to play with the idle a little bit. Man, she's turning so slow. I could have got out and pushed this thing. So
Yeah, it's running real good now. I mean, these old bugs, it just takes time to get used to driving them, and every now and then you gotta kind of fiddle with them because they're carbureted, you know. But it ain't cutting off. I think she's good to go, folks. This thing will fly too. So it's just a combination of old new parts not working together. I mean, that's just it basically. We put the balance resistor on the coil. I replaced the ignition coil. It is freaking flying. 40 feels like 60. So hopefully all those wells stay running good, and you'll be able to enjoy it. I don't know if the horn works. I don't know what's up with that. But I don't think it's got a horn on it. I don't really. Who needs a horn? Horns are overrated. That carburetor really woke it up. So that's gonna be it on the Volkswagen, folks. Hope y'all enjoyed this series on the 74 Super Beetle. Just getting it going and working all the bugs out of it. Oh yeah, we put all the right fuses in it too. Had the wrong fuses in it. Rides like a bug. It steers like a bug. All right, I've been cruising around about 30-45 minutes now, just running it around, and she runs pretty good. Little Beetle. So I forgot to close the gas cap. Flew open. So anyway, I did stop to put some gas in it, by the way. But that's gonna be it. Like I said, on the 74 Super Beetle, she's sitting here purring, all the lights are working and everything. Got the new carb. She is good to go. So like, share, and subscribe, folks. Like I usually say, thank you for leaving comments on any video, and thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. And we will definitely pick up on something else. I'm gonna show you the interior, because I think when I showed it, it was dark. Interior looks good. It's got a bra to go on the front. Seats look good. Headliner looks good. Oh yeah, she's a machine. All right, folks. We'll holler at y'all later. Remember to check out the second channel, RPM Auto Moto. Instagram, RPM Auto. What is it? RPM Auto 4. Facebook, RPM Auto. And that's it. So, hope y'all enjoyed the Volkswagen Beetle. It's time for it to go home. I'll let y'all later.